Alright everyone, load it up. We got a brand new set of Avengers equipment ready to load up. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Mr. Parker, I thought I told you never to call this number. No, Happy, please. I have to tell you something. The bird guy, the vulture guy, he's stealing weapons, and he's trying to use it to I don't know, but I'm onto something. I'm really onto something. Peter, stop calling me. I don't appreciate being stalked. And if you ever share my videos on Pornhub again, I will fucking kill you. Let's go, people! Let's go! Parker. Oh, Mr. Stark, this really isn't what it looks like. You taking the piss? You taking the piss out of my people? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you taking advantage of Happy? I'm always happy, sir. Cut the crap. I know you're fucking after Happy. You are literally fucking happy. You know, that's a very confusing comment. I give you one thing to do. You did the one thing I told you not to do. And that was be happy. But I don't want to be me. I want to be happy. So you felt like you had to get yourself inside of happy? I thought I told you never to fuck me, Parker. I can't help it. You make me feel so happy. Oh God! No! Oh God, Happy. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got web all over my fucking... Hello everybody and welcome to my review at long last of Spider-Man Homecoming, directed by John Watts, starring Tom Holland in his first solo movie as Spider-Man / Peter Parker. So, after the crushing disappointment of the Amazing Spider-Man film series, the third one was scrapped and they decided to give the rights back to Marvel, or share the rights with Marvel. So Sony and Marvel have teamed up to bring us Spider-Man Homecoming, which was also another installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah. So the basic plot of Spider-Man Homecoming is that after a few months after the events of Captain America Civil War, Peter Parker wants to be involved in the next mission. You know, he's waiting for that call to find out from Tony Stark and Happy Hogan when is the next mission and when will they need him. And he's getting very bored. He's kind of like, he's in high school, he's just going through life, he's he's not at his mojo yet. So, and then he discovers the villain known as the Vulture, who is stealing Avengers weaponry for his own personal financial support, and Spider-Man pursues him ultimately, you know, on his own to try and prove to him, to everybody, that he is worthy of being part of the Avengers. And, you know, that's really it. That's Spider-Man Homecoming. So, Spider-Man Homecoming. This movie has been anticipated from a lot of people. I was looking forward to it. I mean, I have to be honest with you guys. I kind of expected a bit more. I was a little disappointed with this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong. It kicks the fucking shit out of both the Amazing Spider-Man movies. It is far better than those two films. But for me, whilst the story's good, the script is solid, for me, there's just nothing remarkable about it. It's another MCU fun popcorn romp. That's it. I mean this with absolute greatest respect to Tom Holland. Tom Holland is brilliant. He is a fantastic Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and I know he will go on to do great work in the future. And, you know, I think that he is perfect in this movie, and he will go on to play Spider-Man for another few years at least, and he's going to delight all of the audience. And I saw this in the screen with a lot of people when he did. He's very funny, he's very charming, he's very sensitive in the role, and I like that very much about him. And I think he's absolutely brilliant, and he's the right age for the role. I think in real life he's about 20 or something like that, but the character's like 15 or 16, so he's still young. But yeah, the other cast members, obviously, Michael Keaton plays the Vulture in this movie. He's a pretty standard MCU villain. There's nothing really much more to him. I mean, there's an interesting twist with his character, which I won't spoil. But yeah, he has quite an interesting twist about his character. When we discover who he actually is, you're like, oh shit. But yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty solid. But he's nothing amazing. Robert Downey Jr. does appear in this movie very briefly, as this is an MCU movie. They have references to other movies, characters from other movies. And, you know, Robert Downey Jr. for the scenes he's in, he's quite good. And he's only in it about 4 times, so don't go and see it for him. Why would you anyway? It's called Spider-Man, not Iron Man. You know, and I like how he's kind of Peter's mentor. He's trying to pull him in the right direction, which is interesting. So yeah, you know, he's good in the scenes he's in. Jon Favreau gets much more of a part in this movie as Happy Hogan. Jon Favreau actually is sort of the guy that sort of started all these MCU movies. He directed the first 2 Iron Man movies, so he's been there since the beginning, and now I think he's still involved behind the scenes, but it's nice he got to reprise his role of Happy Hogan in this movie, and he's pretty good. He's quite good, and he's taking much more of a management role, which I like. Obviously, Marisa Tomei plays Aunt May. It is so weird seeing a young Aunt May. It's just so weird. I just don't like the whole sexualization of her. They make her out to be some kind of sex symbol. Like when there's a scene in a restaurant with her and Peter, and then, you know, one of the waiters throws her in a free pudding or something because he thinks that she's hot, you know, and he gives her a sort of a wink, and it's like, oh god, no. If it was any other character, but oh dear. Yeah. Also, you have another supporting character who plays Ned. You know what? Not who plays that. Who is Ned? Sorry, I'm not mixing my words. Ned, who's Peter's like school friend. He's the big fella. He's very funny. He has a lot of great laughs. There's one particular gag when at the actual homecoming dance, he's talking to Peter on the thing, and he's in the school library doing on the computers, going back and forth. The teacher comes in asking what he's doing, and you know, there we go. I won't say what the gag is, but that gag was very funny. One of the strengths of this movie is the script. The script, I think, is very solid. It's not groundbreaking, but it's very funny. It's probably one of the funniest Spider-Man films. And it also has a very different feeling to it. I think because of the high school setting, that's become much more of a focus, and it feels very much like a high school movie, which is kind of strange in a way, but also it really works because of Peter and his age, you know, the character. The high school aspect in Sam Raimi's first film was kind of rushed because of the age of the actors. They had to kind of rush it in the movie and just get them graduated as soon, like literally within the first half an hour of the film. And then in The Amazing Spider-Man, he was in school for the first film, and then he graduated in the beginning of the second movie. But in this one, he's still in school by the end of it. He's still got like another 2 years left to go or something. Yeah. Also, another character I wasn't particularly a fan of was Liz. She's the love interest. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, she's not very interesting. The actress is fine, but I just don't think her character is really that good. She's just there to be the love interest. So, you know, it's not like they wrote her badly, but yeah, there's nothing much to her really. I think the reason why I was a little bit disappointed with this movie was because I felt that this might come across as very harsh. It lacked an emotional punch. Don't get me wrong. I do think there is a lot of charm and there's a lot of heart in this movie, but it's basically another standard Marvel movie. There's no, there's not much of a beating heart like there is with Raimi's trilogy, which has a clear, dramatic storyline. I mean, the storyline, obviously, this is a coming of age story, and he's growing up. He's quite naive, and he doesn't really he's a clever guy, but he doesn't understand too much about his own aspirations and stuff, and he's getting people hurt because of that. So I like the lessons that he has to learn, but I just feel like there's no great emotional core to drive this movie. It's basically just a fun romp, and I'm not saying that we needed to show the death of Uncle Ben, again, that would have been ridiculous. But, I mean, there is a moment towards the end when he has to try and push himself to carry on, but that's not really enough. Throughout, there needs to be some kind of core, like, because he never doubts himself for a minute. He's always on top of things. There's never a moment where he feels like things are going completely down, or maybe towards the end, but I wanted more out of the drama. There was drama, but there wasn't a emotional justification behind the drama, if that makes sense. And I feel that that's what's missing. So in a sense, this movie felt a little bit empty, which was a shame. Don't get me wrong, it is far better than the Amazing Spider-Man movies. At least it's watchable. I mean, the Amazing Spider-Man's emotional drama came off as really forced, in both the movies. In this, you can just sort of have fun with it. You don't need to think too much about the plot. It's pretty simple. And the action sequences are competently done. They're well done. The ferry scene is quite good. The climax is good with the Vulture. I think that's interesting, and it's nice to finally see the Vulture on screen. I mean, he's not anything amazing, but like I said, he's good. I do feel this film has some pacing issues as well. It gets a little bit too long, I think, towards the climax. It's like, come on, it needs to end now. It just needs to end. Like, it's 2 hours 13 minutes, which is long for a Spider-Man movie, especially one of this different style as well. It's a different style, so I'm not saying this movie's unoriginal. It's different and it is original, but yeah, pacing. They could have cut a few things out. I don't think it needed to be this long. The music score by Michael Giacchino is good. He does his own version of the Spider-Man theme, which is nice. And I mean, another problem I have with this movie, and this is a problem that kind of happens with all Marvel movies, really, they often rely so much on nostalgia and fan service that it becomes very difficult to appreciate the film on its own. And I think with the end of this movie, that's the case. I mean, the end of this movie is great for, obviously, the MCU fans, because it's setting up for the future of Spider-Man in the MCU, and the possibilities of what might happen, and also a couple of little other things for Tony Stark. But other than that, there's it can get a bit annoying at times. Sometimes I just kind of, I'm sick of all these cinematic universes. Really, I just want there to be a standalone film. Like, I reckon this movie may have been better as a standalone film. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's decent. It'll do. It's fun. And there's a lot of filler as well, like this whole part when he has to go to the decathlon. It's like, we don't need that, come on. So yeah, pacing-wise, it could have been stronger, but it's very funny, it's very charming, there's a lot to like, some good action. People are saying that this is like, some people that say this is like the best Spider-Man movie ever. No way. Spider-Man 2, always. A spoiler for my ranking, but I don't care. Spider-Man 2 is the one that holds it all together. Spider-Man 2 is just brilliant, because it has the dramatic weight and it knows exactly what to do with it, and the story is so clever and it's so clear. This is not even close to that. The direction by John Watts is good, although again, they could just push it further. Come on, give us more. Give us there's no emotional connection with the audience. It's basically like, oh, this is an MCU movie, here's this, here's that, there's this connection. And then, because I saw this with two of my best friends, and obviously, they're entitled to like what they like, but they geeked out throughout the entire thing, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm not as into the MCU as them. but I understand why they geeked out. I think, but like I said, I think Tom Holland's a lot of fun, and I also like the opening scene when we see Peter filming on his own camera. That was good. It's a good film, but it's not anything amazing. It's not like the saving grace of the Spider-Man films, and it's, you know, it's not going to change the MCU in any way. It's just another Marvel movie, and that's kind of a disappointment to say, really. But I don't think it's bad. I'm gonna rate Spider-Man: Homecoming a 7 out of 10. By all means, go and see it, see what it's all about, but just don't raise your hopes too high. And also the ending is quite funny with Aunt May. I won't say any more than that. But yeah, so that's pretty much my review of Spider-Man: Homecoming. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Your comments down below, let me know. I haven't spoiled anything for you, so you can still watch this review and go and see it. So yeah, that's it, guys. I've reviewed all 6 theatrically released Spider-Man movies. I'm going to be ranking all 6 movies at some point, and then I'm actually going to review the Men in Black trilogy. Yeah, I'm decided to review those movies. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until then, I'm Mr. Tyler Sullivan, and see ya.